passar pra lá? Olha aqui, quer? Não dá, meu irmão, ele vai. Sobe aí. Pegar a roncaria, né?
Placa de 5 minutos.
Não, aquela aqui agora. Bora, vem. Licença aí, licença aí. Não vai poder ficar encostado aí não. Não vai ficar ninguém aí. Não, vai ficar aí. virar pra dois, hein? Vai virar pra dois. Vai virar pra dois, meu irmão.
Tá aqui. Ah, o segredo?
Um minuto ali, ó. Não, deixa eu virar pra 2 minutos. Aí, ó. 1 minuto. Olha o peito, então.
And now it's all go almost for the 63 lap, 197-mile Brazilian Grand Prix. And it's Gilles Villeneuve who leads away from René Arnoux. Prost is going into the right-hander in third position. Right with him is Keke Rosberg. And it's Villeneuve. Arnoux, Rosberg is in third position. Prost is in fourth place. Pironi in the second Ferrari is in fifth. And Rosberg has gone up into second place, so it's a Turbo leading the Williams car of the Finnish driver Keke Rosberg, then the two Renaults.
Yes, that was an outstanding starting lap by Keke Rosberg. He has a power disadvantage. He's trying around the outside of Villeneuve here. He's having a real go, but the trouble is he's off the line on the slippery bit, and he's going to get swallowed up by the turbos down the straight. That's a bit unfortunate that he didn't tuck in behind the Ferrari there and get the grip he needed to get out of the corner, because yes, both runners have now passed him. He lost the slingshot onto the straight, but he really drove a great first couple of corners.
Rosberg and in fourth place, and there is Piquet coming up to challenge Rosberg, and is he going through? He is. So Rosberg is down 2 places all of a sudden. And there's only one Ferrari effectively in the running now, because Didier Pironi, who had a gigantic crash at the Paul Ricard circuit testing recently, has gone off in Brazil and has gone right down to 13th position. So it is the sole Scarlet Turbo 126C Ferrari, and the Brabhams are challenging now. Look at this. The Brabhams are up into 3rd and 4th places.
Yeah, Prost slowed there coming through that corner onto the straight. I don't know why. He seemed to go a little bit wide, and both Brabhams have nipped by him.
And now lap 9, and look at this, the first 4 very closely together, still Villeneuve out front, and if his tyres are really starting to wear, it was said that they were only going to last about 10 laps, but they're not showing any signs of problems at the moment. René Arnoux in second place, then the two Brabhams, Riccardo Patrese ahead of the world champion Nelson Piquet, who is right in his slipstream. Alain Prost in 5th position, Keke Rosberg in 6th place, and Piquet going through and taking Patrese. So the world champion is up another place, and don't forget that Nelson Piquet is a Brazilian. He is driving in Brazil ahead of 80,000 fervently enthusiastic Brazilians.
Yes, let me say it again. Piquet just diving out of the slipstream, straightforward manoeuvre. He got in behind Patrese down the straight in perfect position.
Lap 17.
Piquet is really having a real go to get past Arnoux. He's got the usual problem, of course, with the extra power of the turbo car, which takes him away down the straights, and Arnoux is using it well, but Piquet's car is obviously handling a lot better, and he's having another little stab inside there, but to no avail. If he can get by, I'm sure he'll fairly sprint away. But there, now you can see the gap just lengthen away. But Piquet's kept right in the toe this time. He's tucked in the toe. He's in position to possibly have a go.
Indeed he is, and there he goes through into second position. Then goes Nelson Piquet. Now he has just got Gilles Villeneuve ahead of him. Now the conditions here at the Rio Autodrome are frighteningly demanding. The circuit is in a bowl. The sun is burning down. The temperature is over 30 degrees centigrade. The course is enormously bumpy, despite the fact that it has been relayed in parts. The drivers are taking an enormous battering. quite apart from the fact that they sweat enormously into their fireproof overalls, which have to be very, very hot indeed, of course. So if it is 30, 32 degrees outside the cars, just imagine what it is like in the cockpits, and imagine the pounding that the drivers are taking. 80,000 race-mad Brazilians watching their hero, the world champion, and he's challenging Villeneuve right up to Villeneuve's rear wheel. And if Villeneuve drifts out wide, this could be, as they start another lap, this could be Piquet's opportunity to get through. But Rosberg is right with Piquet, and he's challenging for second place. He's come out and he's right up alongside. And this time, Rosberg is through. Is he going to stay ahead? This is exactly the same point where Rosberg passed Piquet, and this time he has succeeded in staying there. Rosberg second, Piquet third, Villeneuve leads. Is still there in fourth place in only his second Grand Prix in the Brabham, his first Grand Prix in the Brabham Ford, because in South Africa it was the Turbo. There he is in fourth position.
Now we can see if Piquet can get by, because he was in perfect position then, the same way. He is quicker down the straight, but Rosberg's made him go around the outside, and Piquet's done it. Fine piece of driving. He's got a definite straight line advantage, because Rosberg could not do that to him when he was in exactly the same position earlier.
So now Piquet really is cramming on the pressure. He's right up with Gilles Villeneuve, and if Villeneuve puts as much as a wheel wrong, Nelson Piquet could be through and into the lead. But remember that in the Spanish Grand Prix last year, Gilles Villeneuve had exactly the same position. And Piquet now is going to try and go round the outside, and Villeneuve's off. Villeneuve's off. He's lost it. He put his wheels on the grass. He's off. Is he all right? Let's watch and see if he gets out. Yes, he is, and Piquet leads with Rosberg second.
Oh, and he nearly took Piquet with him. You see, so I saw smoke coming from Piquet's tyres. Here we see it again. Piquet does a very good. He's really harassing him. He goes down to try and take him around the outside, and Villeneuve is panicked into the mistake that Piquet wanted. Although it nearly cost Piquet the race too. You saw his brakes lock up, the smoke come off his tyres. There's Villeneuve, perfectly all right, but I think very cross with himself.
Patrese, he spun off, and that means to say that Prost is past him, Watson is past him, and there is Mansell in sixth position, coming up to try and take Patrese, but Patrese is on his way.
Here it is again. He's just completed a spin, and now he spins it round again when really he shouldn't have done. Backs it across the track, and is really in a terrible mess because he's lost his grip. And now this is where nearly loses it again. He's right across the track. He's in a real mess. And meanwhile, Nigel Mansell is bearing down from behind. Patrese gone into the pits.
That's the look at it. Patrese slumped over the wheel. I'm going to hazard a guess that it's heat exhaustion. I would be amazed if it wasn't. He looked bemused when he had that spin. He wasn't at all happy when he was regaining the circuit, and he looked to me as though he was half out. I've never seen a driver slumped over the wheel quite like that before. 1:47, 63 lap race. Piquet leads, Rosberg second, and the gap is of the order of 2.5 to 3 seconds. It doesn't look it there, but it is on the stopwatch, I promise you.
Prost in third place, fallen back a little bit, but still very much in contention, and it won't need much to go wrong for Prost to pounce. But the two out front are both driving absolutely on the limit to try and settle this race one way or another, and the physical strain must be absolutely huge.
There is John Watson in fourth place. So Keke Rosberg has either voluntarily decided to settle for second place, or maybe Frank Williams has given him the signal to say stay where you are. Either way, it looks as though we are watching the winner.
Yes, there's Nelson Piquet. You see how tired he is. His head on the side of the cockpit there had just fallen over. Here it is again. Now he's going on a left-hand corner and his head just lolls over to the right. There he is. He can no longer hold it up.
He is on the last lap now. He's got a 10 seconds lead. He can pace himself if he can just stay conscious, and he only just managed to stay conscious at the Caesars Palace Grand Prix at Las Vegas at the end of last year when he won the World Championship. And there are now only 12 cars left in the running. Either the mice have got at the machinery or the heat has got at the drivers. All the way down, there are 14 cars out, 12 left. But here is the one that really matters, and the crowd is understandably going berserk. They're going to see a Brazilian winning the Brazilian Grand Prix, and the Brazilian is the world champion, as was their previous hero, Emerson Fittipaldi, and it's going to be a magnificent and apt finish, which will give Nelson Piquet his revenge for not finishing in the points last year. And Nelson Piquet wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. The mechanics go out to greet him home, and Sylvia is understandably delighted. Piquet with Rosberg second, Prost third, Watson fourth, Mansell fifth, and Michele Alboreto a fine sixth position. Result they wanted, but Piquet up on the rostrum is looking very, very dodgy indeed. He's fainting. Rosberg and Prost hold him up, and this This is sensational. The race winner has fainted and he's disappearing behind the rostrum. Rosberg second, Prost is third.
Cadê champanhe?
Champanhe, Paquete, Piquet!